Is the earth flat? Is water flat? Let's find out. We got Mille Lacs Lake, and I went up there with my camera, and here's what we got. I started looking from right there. It's in Isle, Minnesota. Isle, Minnesota. And we're looking over, I don't know what town this would be called, but it's Twilight Road, and it's right about at the surface of the water. The road is, I mean, it's maybe 5 feet above the lake, the level of the water in the lake. So we'll get through this here. I just wanted to show, give you guys a clear idea of what we're looking at, where we're looking. You see those trees between the road and the lake? Those are kind of coming out of the shore bank, like at an angle, kind of, which we'll show pictures in a little bit here. So basically what we want to do is we want to just do the math here, and see what kind of thing we should be looking at if we were on a sphere that's 25,000 miles in circumference. Okay, now pay attention. This is what we're going to be looking at. On the right there is that barn, and then that house there. And I'm just going to turn around, and then we'll do the little Google Earth flight over to our camera point again, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at. And the house is very small that we're going to be looking at, and the camera here, where the camera is, it's 25 feet above that water surface. It doesn't look like that much, but it is. We're looking 9.5 miles, so we should have a horizon at 6.12 miles, and we should have a target. We should be missing 7.6 feet of being able to see. So H0 there would be 25 feet. The horizon, whoop, there we go. So here's what we're looking at, and this is see that island there? That is almost on our ruler line that we made, that red line. So that's how it's easy to tell what we're looking at across, because you can use that island as kind of a marker. So there to the right is those trees in the house, you can see there, and then you can even see the power line pole there. It looks like there's someone getting in the back of a truck there or something. Or is that on a boat? Maybe that's on a boat. But either way, in this image, see that barn there with the kind of weird thing on the right side of it? Maybe I'll go back to it, maybe not, we'll see. Next is coming up some vehicles driving on that road. We're going to start, the house is way to the left now. So there's two vehicles driving on that road. They're up above the water a little bit, and the road gets down closer to the water here. And that's about at that level now, and this house will be coming up in a minute. You can clearly see what the refraction of what the water's doing to, above the water. You can see that it's distorting our image. But okay, here's another view. This should be a vehicle pulling up to the mailbox at that house. They're on the road. And see how you can clearly see the trees are coming out of the ground lower than that vehicle? And keep in mind, there's supposed to be a horizon at 6 miles. So there should be 3 miles of the ground that we can't see here. Here's another image that's a little bit clearer. And this should be a vehicle driving, I think. Yeah, he's on the ice road. Excuse me, he's on the ice road. And you can clearly see it. Do you see how he's lower than the road? That's the water level. So in 9 miles, this right here is proof 100% positive that in 9 miles, nothing is blocked at 6 miles and beyond. So there's the road surface, there's the water surface. Now I'll get some other images. Now you can see how the water is right there. That red line is our line of sight. See how the trees kind of come out of the bank there? I'd say the water's even less than 5 feet below the road. It's probably more like 3 feet below the road. And interestingly, the house is actually lower than the road, which is kind of weird. If you're going to build a house there, I guess I'd build it a little bit higher. But you can see how the driveway after it goes downhill quite a bit. So they're almost at the water level at their driveway there. See that barn? You can see the turquoise colored barn with the right side kind of different on it. So there's that. So we see a problem that. Okay, that was only 9.5 miles though. So let's look a little bit farther. So we're gonna look. There's 2 water towers across the lake there, and that's about, I think it's about 14 miles. But the spherical water tower is going to be on our right, and there's going to be a different one on the left. Here's a picture of the spherical one, and it's only a quarter mile from from the shore of the water. So, and it's actually up on a hill a little bit. So the trees that we're seeing, here's the video. The trees that we're seeing in front of the water tower are obviously just the trees that are in front of the water tower. People ask me, where's the bottom of the water tower? And I don't think they quite really thought about it, because we're seeing trees between the water tower base and the camera. There's no disputing that. So we are seeing the trees at the shore, and this is, I think it's about 13.85 miles away. Now this here is interesting. This is going to be our proof. That radio tower is 15.5 miles away, but that's about a 1.5 miles from the shoreline. But see all these houses? I know you can't make them out very well, but you can see them there. We're going to look at those. There's the casino. There's the other water tower. That's not the spherical one. But that's Grand Casino right there. And that looks like it's up on a hill a little bit too. So we're just going to look here. That's from above. That is what we're looking at when we see that radio tower. The radio tower is right, it's like 1.5 miles, but it's in line with our line of sight. So we're seeing all these houses in the yellow circles. We're seeing all those houses from 14 miles away, and they're not up on a hill or anything. They're just right on the water. Okay, see there's looking to the south. That's where we see Grand Casino. And then that's the tallest building around there, is that little 2-story gas station joint there, and that's in Onamia. But those are the houses we're looking at, and the point I'm trying to make is that if that ain't enough, we got more. We went to a different spot, which is the same distance, but it's a boat landing, and I walked down to the water, and I put my camera about 1.5 feet above the water, and here's what we got. Remember, the last camera point was 25 feet in the air, or above the water. So that versus this, we have the same thing. I mean, my camera's 1.5 feet off the water, and we see the exact same thing. Tell me where this curvature is, because if we go to that Earth curve calculator, or if we do our own math, we're going to end up with quite a problem here, because 1.5 feet high off the water, you should have a horizon, which means that you cannot see the ground or the water past that horizon because of the curvature of the Earth. So if that were the case, we wouldn't see anything of the trees here because of the distance away. Now, when we pan to the left and we see the radio tower, notice how you can't see the houses as well? That's from 24 feet or 23.5 feet of altitude change. But the point being is that where is this fake curvature, and where does it start? That's the science of it. You cannot go out with a camera trying to prove that the Earth is spherical and come to that conclusion. You cannot. So all the people that are sticking up for the globe lie are the ones that are not doing science and are not interested in the facts and are ridiculing the people that are actually figuring out where they live. So, water doesn't lie, and this body of water, across the 15 miles distance that it is completely flat. And we can prove that by putting our camera on the water and looking across and seeing everything. Simple. Have a great day, guys.